changing lives.
Good evening, Ghana. I welcome you all to another edition of the Real Talk in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. My name is Dan Swide. I'll be your host for tonight. Personally, I'm elated and gleeful to come back to your screens to bring you another insightful story. A story that is going to captivate your thought. This week's story, at first glance, looks funny and quite trivial. But hey, it will get you thinking. It is centered on a whole lot of themes like lies, deceit, trust, forgiveness, and many more. Trust me when I say you are going to love tonight's show. So I would urge you to get for yourself a bottle of water, place it beside you, and sip along as we delve deeper into the show. I would encourage you all to join us, stream online. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. Don't forget to leave your comments under the comment section, and I'll do a good job at reading them out as the story unfolds. Obviously, I cannot have the show alone. I have with me some amazing, top-notch personalities and individuals who are going to share their experiences, their candid views, and thoughts about today's story. But even before I go on and introduce our guest, I would like to read the story for tonight. And this story was sent to us by a beautiful young lady. She says, "Dear Real Talk, I'm a young girl in my 20s with a lot of zeal and energy. I met this guy who is now my husband in 2017. By then I was 20 years old, but I told him I was 24 because I was scared he would leave me as others did to me. We dated for 2 years, then got married. After 3 years of marriage, I decided to tell him the whole truth about my age. I never knew he had trust issues all this while. He was hiding that from me. The day I got the courage to talk to him about it, it turned out to be my divorce. We have 2 kids, and he's now saying the kids might not be his since I told him lies about my age. I am depressed and sorry for myself. I don't know what to do now. Please help me." So basically, this is a story about a young lady who apparently lied to her husband about her real age. One day, she gathers courage, goes to the husband and say, "Honey, I lied to you about my age." And the husband said, "Really? Because you've been able to lie to me then it means that even the kids I'm having with you are not mine. So I want to end this marriage. I need a divorce." What should this lady do? Interesting, right? Well, with me in the studio is Josephine Mensajan, and she is coming from the Legon SDA Church. Josephine, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. You?
I'm doing great by God's grace.
Okay, we thank God.
What are expectations for tonight?
Oh, there's one of those familiar stories we've been hearing every now and then, and I know that at the end of today's session, we'll be able to give the solutions to her challenges now that she's facing.
Exactly. I'm glad to have you tonight.
Oh, I'm glad to also be here.
Great. So joining virtually, we have Rahel Ameyao, and she's joining us from Columbus, USA. Rahel, how are you doing?
Yes. I'm good. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine, dear. How is the weather treating you?
I think it's better right now. We're just expecting the winter to come in, so yeah, we're hoping for the best.
Great. What are your expectations?
So since this topic is going to deal with forgiveness, I don't think it's going to have to do with just the relationship. It's going to talk to all of us in a whole. So I'm expecting more, and I hope people learn from this tonight.
Great, great. Joining us also, we have Pastor Solomon Anoche. He is a pastor in the Victory in Christ SDA Church located in Sunyane. Pastor, good evening.
Good evening, my dear. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Yourself?
All is well here. All is well here.
Are you ready for the show?
Well, I'm ready. And I believe this is not just about the young lady, but we have a lot of people who are struggling with life and also coping with how to accept situations the way they are. People live in the past and it is affecting them. I think it is time that we try to address such issues. So I believe I'm very much ready and focused. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Pastor. Because you're the last person I spoke to, I would want to know your general overview of the story. What is your general take about this story?
What I see is that we have a lot of these young people who feel that they have to do all it takes to hold on to a relationship. And this is the time for us to be real, that what belongs to you will actually be for you. We don't need to go through back doors or shortcuts to achieve our aim. Because as we know, what God has provided for you will actually come to you. It takes patience to get such things. So that's how I look at the overview of this whole situation.
Interesting. Pastor, I said what belongs to you would definitely come to you if it is for you. Rahel, what is your general overview of the story?
The first thing I want to say is that people don't have trust issues until something happens to them. She says something like her husband was hiding his issues from her. And I don't think he actually had issues until all of this came up. So, I mean, that's the first thing I want to talk about. And then there's one thing I know, that people lie in a relationship to protect their faces, to protect their images, and sometimes just to avoid hurting their partners. In a perfect world, people in a relationship think that they are being very honest to each other, but in reality, both of you guys are in a way forging something somewhere, a little bit here and there. So here is the thing. On a normal levels, I would say that lying in a relationship is quite common. We have different types of lies. We have white lies and lies of deception. The white lies are common lies that everybody tries to do. Lying not to show up in a friend's party. And sometimes in a relationship, when you have a partner who complains about how you spend money, sometimes you go out to shop and you come in to tell them, oh, I shopped with the amount of this money, but you know that you lied about it because you're trying to prevent the fact that your partner is going to complain. So lies depends on what you're telling it and why you're telling it. And lies of deception is what the lady did. She lied and she deceived her husband about her age. And the man has lived in this for like 5 years. 5 years of relationship about your age. Everything about the lady right now is going to be questioned. We don't know what else she's going to lie about. So my general take is that this is very bad, and she really needs to apologize to her husband.
Wow. Josie, do you think every lie be lie?
I think from the Bible, the 10 Commandments is that we shouldn't lie, okay? So whether you lied to protect your family, whether you lied because you wanted to be married, whatever lie that you or whatever reason why you lied, you can't give excuses as to what you or why you did those issues. Exactly. Yes. So whatever that she lied about, it is sinful. She has sinned and she needs to forgive. She needs to apologize.
Ask for forgiveness.
Yes, she needs to apologize to the husband, and she needs to be forgiven by the husband as well.
But the husband is seeking for divorce, not forgiveness. We'll come to that.
Okay.
But then before that, I would want to know why you think the lady lied in the first place.
Okay.
Because for all I know, most ladies lie about their ages, they try to reduce their age. But here, the lady tried to increase her age rather. Why do you think she did that?
Okay, I think from my perspective, I think she saw herself
To be young.
And to be immature for marriage. Not knowing that maturity is not measured with age.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So she lied because she wanted to be married. And she thought that that age that she had at that time, it will be assumed that she's not
young.
matured or she's young for marriage. So she decided to increase her age so that she would be seen as being matured for marriage. But when you go to psychological aspect too, there are different means how we be able to measure age. Yes, for what is common amongst us is the chronological age, that whenever it is a year, you attain another age to your age, which is added to it. But there are other aspects that contribute to you being matured. So we have social age, the ones that you'll be able to, if you are able to relate to others or you have good interpersonal relationship with others, that means you are matured. Okay, physically, if you are able to be fit and you are physically sound, it is assumed that you are matured. All these things contribute to be maturity. If you're able to reason well emotionally, that means you are also matured. If you're able to manage your money well, that means you are what? You are matured. Yes, so we are all aspects contributing to being matured.
Not only age.
Yes, not physically that you are also thick, tall, or you are taller, or you are younger. That means you are matured. But if you're able to reason well, you're able to overcome challenges, you try to give solutions to it, that means you are being matured. Your experiences make you matured. And at each challenge, how you be able to overcome it, or whatever that happens, how do you go by it? All these accounts for being matured. Whenever they give you money to go to the market to buy things, how do you manage your money? When you work at the end of the month, how do you manage your money? All these things account to being matured. Whenever you are speaking to someone, how do you talk about others to people? Yes, and when do you talk and when you are not supposed to talk? If you're able to reason about all these things, that means that you are matured. And she thought that it is only age. Physically age, chronological age, that I'm 20 or I'm this. But there are other reasons why. So she was just using one aspect of it to lie to the husband so that she will be married. And later she realized that she's just doing things which is not right, and she decided to talk about it.
Well, I love Josie's dynamism on maturity. Rahel, why do you think this lady lied?
There are so many reasons why people want to get married at the early stage. And right now, we wouldn't know why she wanted to get married. But I think at age 20, she just came out from her teens, and it was very early for her to think of marriage at that point in time. So she lied about it, which wasn't a good thing. And I don't know, they dated for 2 years, and her husband didn't know. Maybe her boyfriend at that time didn't know anything about it. He didn't get anything like a certificate or anything that belongs to her to prove that she's that young. I don't know. Sometimes there are some red flags to know that this isn't right.
But people don't inspect certificates about age when dated or courted.
Yeah, I know that. But sometimes when you get close to people, you get to know them very well. I mean, when you're dating someone, at least you know the school they went and everything. When it's time to get married, you know that this is what this person did. At some point, you might come across something they did in life, like schooling and everything. So it's not like you're going to inspect, but getting closer to each other, at least you should see something like that.
Okay.
So lying about her age wasn't right. And for now, I still can't figure out why she lied and why she wanted to get married at 20. But I think it was a bad thing.
Pastor?
Yes.
Pastor Solomon, what do you also think?
I see this young lady to be somebody who is in a hurry to grow. Look at the age, at her age, and she's saying that some men had already left. You see, so that would mean that she had already been in several relationships, and she was getting frustrated at her age, at age 20, and she was thinking that she had been in so many relationships, and she was afraid that this very young man might leave, and that is to say she was already rushing to life.
Exactly, Pastor.
Which was not this wasn't healthy at all, and it could be that she felt she had to protect her relationship at that early age. Probably she was having issues that might make her feel inferior. That probably her friends were getting married, and she thought she was delaying, and she needed to do what it takes at all costs to be married at that early age, and that is not maturity.
Okay.
And I agree with what my sister was saying. Maturity takes somebody who doesn't just feel determined, but feels that I have to do the right thing at the right time. So there's that sense of insecurity was there, and the sense of rushing through life was also there. And probably she was thinking that she needs to move from a certain kind of environment to another kind of environment, probably not feeling comfortable at where she was at that very moment and needed to move. So all these things can contribute to somebody lying to get to a certain stage. And when you do that, every lie causes deception. And once you deceive somebody, it creates a certain impression about you. Every liar can actually kill, you see. So when somebody finds out that you have lied to him or her, it puts you in a state, a different state, from a different perspective from how the person used to know you. So you being selfish doesn't mean that you push people to certain situations or deceive people to achieve your aim, because the Bible says that we shouldn't lie. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 16, it is stated in the Ten Commandments that God frowns on people who lie. In Acts chapter 5, verse 3, look at what happened to Ananias, you see, and the wife. They were thinking that they could lie, and it turned out to be a deception, not just to the people, but to God and to the Holy Spirit. So there are so many reasons that could contribute to this lady lying, but eventually the end result was very bad.
Wow, interesting. Josie, let me come to you. You see, this lady has found a lover man, and she didn't want to let this man go because apparently all other guys left her because of the lie she told. But do you think this is actually a plausible reason for the lady to lie to her man about her age?
Because he wanted to get married. Okay. This shouldn't be a reason why she would lie. Because if a man is in love with you, it's not about lying about your age that will make him get married to you or not.
So age is not a factor?
No. If someone is ready to marry you, the first thing the person will do is to pray about it, observe physically your attitude, and then he'll move on. But she was just thinking, she took just an aspect of it. And she was in a hurry to get married, as Pastor said earlier on, because maybe she has seen that the friends are getting married and she wants to...
At age 20?
Yes.
Wow.
Because when you go to the villages, people marry very early, There are some that didn't school to a very higher peak. So they decided to get married at an early stage. So when you are even getting to around 20 to 25, it seems you are late. Yes, we have certain communities. So when you are there, the pressure is higher on you. Yes, because the education level is not that high. So they perceive marriage to be an achievement.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it might be that she was in a community, let's assume that she was in that community or that circle of friends that everybody wants to marry, everybody is married with kids, and I'm also, I have to also get married. Okay. But marriage shouldn't be like that. You should know why you want to be in marriage. You shouldn't rush into it. You shouldn't allow your friends to pressure you to get into there. You are supposed to have your own life as you are just moving. You are schooling, maybe you are learning a trade, whatever that you do it all your heart. And then the marriage will also come and join you on that train. Yes, and you still continue with your life. It shouldn't be like that is the only thing that you are praying for. So whatever that you will do to get married, you will do it. Even if you want to lie. People lie a lot. Yes, they do a lot of things because they want to get married, which is wrong.
Intangible enough to make her lie to a man.
And that's one thing I don't want to do right now, to give excuses why she lied.
Okay.
It's one thing I don't want to talk about. If the reason was to, let's say, move from her environment, if it was a pressure from her friends and her community, whatever the reason was, this is wrong. As a young lady in your 20s, I don't think that was the right decision. So I don't want to give excuses for why she did it. I don't want to do that right now. The whole thing is that we as young ladies, sometimes we need to have a plan in life. I mean, we have people that who live in a ghetto but comes out successfully. They don't live in a good environment, but they make it in life. So it's your personality. You decide what you want to do with your life. It don't matter where you're coming from. It don't matter the family, your background, whatever be the reason. You don't have to make such decisions. So I don't think tonight I want to give excuses for her, why she did that. No, I'm not going to do that. The only thing we have to do right now is to talk to people listening to us and to not make such decisions. Like Josephine just said, we have to make a plan. We have to know that in life you have to get somewhere before you can move on to some things. Your brain is not ready, your mind is not ready for marriage at age 20, no matter the situation. That's what I think.
Great. I'd like to read some comments on Facebook. So this is Mufili, and he's saying, trust we say once it's broken, it is very difficult to build again. My dear, you made a mistake for not telling him your real age from the onset of the relationship, and even during the time of you getting to know each other better. Pray and get him to understand that you have erred, and so he should find a place in his heart to forgive you, because we are all humans and we are bound to make mistakes. When he forgives you, make sure you won't lie to him about anything again. God is in control. And Raymond is saying, ladies nowadays like this too much. Do you agree with Raymond? We'll leave your comment under the comment section on our Facebook pages or on our YouTube pages. We'll go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Anymore, young and Kenyan Coupon, their wire and their Maya, Yamia Dumunti, I him crow Melinda, Aquanta for Asafono, Yadisi or Anya in fear Ediana.
Hooray! And Untitled Chapter, Honorable Abet Kandapa, Security Minister, Honorable Kakarichan for DC, Fida Fabre,
Nana in Cross Popo Tosonai,
Nana Amadapa, and him Croatian,
and Honorable Collins Adumako, Fida Fabre North MP.
And Unti Jumadi Basso, Afia Mu 2021. Ewo busumi edu ni da etosumi enu be kan 2nd October 2021 ya ewo ahinkro meme nda akwanwefo asafo ewo offense kwa no ho ha
What you met the animal free health screening any communal labor ebekoso afenso ye bejeje ntubwa e de ama ahinkro asafo wo school dan a opeso si de ma mofrano any asori dan a opeso si ne sent no ye tu ensa fro se bra come bra
now be yenshira.
Nkrumah proclaimed freedom at independence. But are we really free? Fuel prices keep soaring. Unemployment, hunger and deprivation abounds. Strange diseases plague us. But don't lose hope yet, because God has a plan for you. The Personal Ministries Department, in collaboration with the Women and Young Ladies Ministries of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, bring to you Christ Our Hope from the 9th to the 16th of October 2021. The time is 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. each day. Join us live on Hope Channel Ghana and in all Seventh-day Adventist churches in Ghana as we present to you Christ Our Hope. Speakers, Mrs. Christiana Ejenim Boateng and Mrs. Margaret A. Auntie. Remember, the date is the 9th to the 16th of October 2021 and the time is 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. each night. Invite a friend and God bless you.
From that quick commercial break, we are still in the studios of Hope TV and this is Real Talk. My name is Danswa, your host, and with me is Josie. Joining virtually we have Rahel and then Pastor Solomon, who is actually understudying a pastor in Victory Christ Church. So let's move to another dimension of the story. If you read Genesis chapter 12 verse 10 to 20, there's a story about Abraham and then Sarah, who were in a land of famine. As a result, they decided to move to Egypt to cater for themselves. On their way, Abraham looked at how beautiful Sarah was and told Sarah that, Sarah, if you should go to this land and tell them I am your husband, they are going to kill me and take you away from me. So do you know what? Just tell them you are my brother. They went to Egypt, and then the officials of Pharaoh spotted Sarah and they brought them to Pharaoh's palace. Pharaoh asked Sarah who Abraham was to her, and she said Abraham was her brother. Fast forward, God got angry about it, and he brought in a whole lot of diseases upon the land of Egypt. Pharaoh summons them again and asks Sarah why Sarah lied to him about Abraham. Josie, looking at this story from the Bible, do you think it is synonymous to our story? And what do you think are even the repercussions one would have to go through if they should lie about a situation?
Okay. You know something, this similar situation, Abraham and Sarah came into mind when I was at home, when I read about the story. And he lied because he thought that if he doesn't tell the truth, they might kill him. Okay. I think as Christians, we are not supposed to be scared about whatever consequences we get when we tell the truth. Yes, you're supposed to be telling truth at all times, whether we will be killed or we will not be killed. You're not supposed to be scared. Since you are telling the truth, we are on God's side, and God will always protect his children. And so what Abraham did was wrong.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That means he doesn't have hope in Christ, that when he tells the truth, he will not be killed.
Okay.
Because Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, when they were in the fire, I think God came in there.
Yes.
So if he had told the truth, he wouldn't be killed, or if he had been killed, there would be a way that the Lord would have protected him. So at every juncture in our life, whatever thing that we do, we should know that if you are standing for Christ, the consequences that will happen, Christ will always be with us, and he would protect us. But when we get scared and because of that we tell lies because we will be hurt or because they will kill us, and then we are not Christians. That is what I can say.
Josie, is this story synonymous to ours? What do you think? Rahel, sorry.
Yes. Yes. So Abraham's story is at a point of death. Sometimes in reality, you know what's going to happen. So I think that's why he lied. And like we are saying, whether it was good or bad, he faced the consequences. But with this story, I don't think it was at a point of death.
Okay.
I don't think so. There's something that I always tell my friends. Sometimes you allow yourself for God to use you for his miracles. I mean, at age 20, God has just started in your life. He hasn't done anything yet. So if you want to wait on God and pray and I mean, be committed to God's word, you live your life, you have to do what you have to do. I believe God is going to bless you.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a similar situation. Her case has nothing to do with Abraham's story.
At all.
It wasn't at the point of death. Not at all.
Pastor?
Yes, my dear.
Pastor, what do you think are the repercussions one would go through if they should lie?
Yeah, before I go there, let me say a bit about Abraham and Sarah's situation.
Okay, Pastor.
There were two truths to the relationship between Abraham and Sarah. Actually, Abraham and Sarah were related. Abraham married his uncle's daughter. See? So in a way, they were sisters. Sarah was Abraham's sister or cousin, let me put it that way. So when Abraham realized that after he had married Sarah and he was in danger, he chose not to tell the current relationship, but rather talk about the long-term family.
Okay.
So theologians find it difficult to step on it as a lie. So it was not Abraham who was planning, but rather Pharaoh who was planning. So let's look at it from that angle. There were two truths. And for the sake of his life, for the fear of his life, he chose to tell the old one instead of the present one. Now, let's look at the question you asked. People may coin to have some positive reasons to lie or positive effects to lie, but the negative effects far outweigh the positive.
Okay.
See, the moment you lie, it breeds contempt and guilt, because most often someone out there knows the truth. So this lady lied about her age, but she didn't bring herself to this earth. Somebody gave birth to her. So the parents knew the truth. Her family knew the truth.
Okay.
So the siblings knew the truth. So there was no way she could hide it. So in all her life, what do you think will be going through her mind? She will be living in contempt. She will be living in guilt and all that. So how will you enjoy your marriage when you know that the basis for the whole marriage is life? So there was no way she was going to enjoy the marriage. And then there's this cognitive depletion. See, your mind will always be thinking about what you did. I lied about it. Will somebody hear about it? Is my husband going to find the truth? So you always be thinking about it, and your mind is not growing. You are always living in the past, and it is very, very dangerous when somebody lies in such a situation. It also increases the risk of punishment. Now there's going to be a divorce.
Yes.
What if she had told the truth from the beginning?
Okay.
Probably the husband might have thought about it and had forgiven her, and then the marriage would have come on. You see, but now the punishment is bigger than what it should have been from the beginning. So this is very serious, and lying has always been bringing a lot of negative effects on people. And also it threatens your self-worth. The moment you lie and people find out, they don't see you the way they used to see you anymore. Oh, people thought that, oh, you are a very good person, you always speak the truth. Now there's this little lie that has come out. So now everybody will begin to look at you in a different perspective, from a different angle. If when they remember the good things you did, somebody will whisper into their ear, but he lied, but he lied. Then everything goes back to the ordinary. So yes, there are so many negative effects. And looking at this lady's case, she's going through a lot. And it is as a result of a lie that began the whole relationship. I think we should learn a lot from this and then try to speak the truth no matter how the situation is.
Interesting, Pastor. Because you're the only man in our midst, I'd like to ask you this. In the story, we have been told that the man had trust issues. Pastor, what do you think caused this man to have trust issues? Is it because of the lie, or perhaps he saw signs in the marriage that didn't make him trust the woman? Pastor? Okay, Josie, what do you think actually made the man, or what caused the man's trust issues? Was it because of the lie or the signs he saw in the marriage?
I think sometimes when someone lies, even when nobody has spoken to you that you have lied, you get some guilty conscience in you, the lady, the lady who lied. Nobody would even be pointing at you or using the fingers to point at you, but you personally, when you are there, you have some guilty conscience. Hey, are they coming to say this?
So
are they coming to do that?
The man was assuming?
Yes, it can be. Okay, I'm talking about the lady.
The lady.
Yes. So the man can also observe the lady's actions and will be able to give a conclusion, so that, oh, maybe the way this lady is acting, I think she's hiding something
from me.
Yes, because when you are with someone and the person is behaving in a way which makes you suspicious, you are suspected, hey, is this person hiding something from me because of the way the person is acting? Yes, or behaving. Sometimes, oh, when the person's phone, when the person gets a call, the person will send it outside or somewhere to hide it. The conversation the person will be having, when the person comes, there will be no gist for you to even be hearing it. You see, so it might be the husband has been observing the lady for some time, and he has seen that this lady might be hiding something from me, and this will bring the mistrust. Yes, this will bring the mistrust from the man's side to the lady. You see, so all these things count. So when you are with, just be open and transparent to your spouse or your partner, whoever that you are being with, whoever, even if when the person is your daddy, any sibling or relative or co-worker, wherever you are, just be transparent and be clear, so that people will not be suspicious about whatever that you do. Because I think since the lady lied, it might be she was also trying to hide certain things from the husband, and the husband became suspicious and getting mistrust for the lady.
Be open and transparent at all times. Rahel, what do you think caused the man's trust issues? Rahel, can you hear me? Pastor Solomon. Okay, so Josie, do you think lying about one's age should be... Pastor, can you hear me now?
No, he's gone back.
Okay, Josie, do you think lying about one's age should be a solid justification for the man to say that the kids are not his? Because he made that assertion.
Okay, lying about someone's age, and then you are attributing it to the situation that the kids are not yours. It doesn't really tally. Although there will be some kind of coordination or certain linkage
to it.
Yes, but when someone lies to you, it will be very difficult to trust the person in another time, you see. Yes, because if I lied today and you find out that you lied to me, when I say such other things which are even true,
you think it's a lie.
Yes, and you will try to take your time to observe and investigate much about it before you can accept whether it is true or not. And so I think that was what was happening, you see.
Pastor?
Yes, my dear.
Do you think lying about one's age should be a solid ground for the man to say the kids are not his?
Well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. But as the lady rightly stated, the man is already having trust issues. So there were so many things that led to him concluding that the kids might not be his. It is not just about the age. So probably he has done a lot of findings, gotten to know certain things about the lady, and gotten to know the kind of life she might be living behind his back and all that. But if this alone should be his reason, I think he got it wrong right there. And just saying a kid is not yours, or a child is not yours, doesn't make the whole story true. Because we have so many ways of finding out and being sure about your assertion. So yes, you might have said it out of pain, but I don't think he really means it. And he can go ahead and do a DNA test to be sure about the situation. But on the ground is not right for him to make that conclusion. The age alone, lying about the age alone, shouldn't be a serious reason for him to make that conclusion.
Okay. Rahel, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
So Rahel, what would be your suggestions on how to build a solid foundation in relationships? Should it be based on lies?
Can you ask the question again?
What should be the solid foundation in relationships?
I think it should be trust.
Trust.
Yes. Being able to trust your partner is pretty important. In a relationship, I don't think a relationship can grow without trust.
Aside
trust. Yeah, trust is something like fostering a sense of safety. If you trust someone, you feel safe with them. So everything you have to be real in it. Tell the truth. If they are going to go, they'll go. Right now, you lied about your age for like 5 years, and you told him the truth, and he wants to go. If you told him earlier and he wanted to go, he would have gone. And like I said, everything should be based on trust.
Okay.
It's not just relationship. In our families, friends, everywhere, in our churches, we should learn to trust each other. We should learn to be truthful. And that will really help.
Okay. Josie, what do you think? Trust or lies? A little lie.
Oh, we all know that we are supposed to be trustworthy.
Okay.
But sometimes you go to the market and you know that you are supposed to buy certain things. But as ladies, you overbuy. You see, you buy these things and you know that you didn't budget for it. And you buy it. And when you come, then they'll ask, your husband will ask you, account for what you bought. And then you lied that, oh, you really budgeted for it. But meanwhile, you know that you didn't budget for it. So in every sphere of life, we are supposed to be trustworthy.
Okay.
Yes, at our workplaces, in our churches, in our families, where we stay, from friends, co-workers, wherever that we go, we are supposed to be trustworthy. Because we are Christians and we are light. We are supposed to shine wherever that we go. Yes. So people are always looking at us. You see that sometimes you go to a place and people are doing certain things. When they see you're doing the same thing, say, hey, we didn't expect that you'll be doing these things, because we know that you are
especially if you're serving the
Adventist. You are exceptional.
Exactly.
Yes, and you are the light. So for the trustworthy, everywhere you're supposed to be trustworthy. You go to work and people are stealing, they are stealing pens or markers or something, and you are Christian, look here, you look there, and you also take it. That God has seen you. Yes. So wherever that we are supposed to be trustworthy. When they give you money to account for, you're supposed to be trustworthy. When they give at work, whenever that they'll trust in you for something. Sometimes you are maybe a head of a unit, and then you see that, oh, there are sanitizers around and we are giving a lot. And people are stealing. You see that people are stealing. You still have to be trustworthy, so you don't steal and go and sell it at a cheaper price or at a cost.
It happens a lot.
Yes. So wherever that is not just a relationship, but wherever that we find ourselves, we're supposed to be trustworthy. Don't say everybody is doing this, so I'm also doing that. But you should know that you are Christian and Christ is looking at you wherever you are.
You are a Christian and Christ is looking at you wherever you are. Spot on. Pastor Solomon.
Yes, dear.
Pastor, now this man is calling for a divorce. He wants to end the marriage. But do you think this story should be a criteria for one to even ask for a divorce?
As Christians, no. But you know, the world is capable of doing anything. But let's take it from the Christian perspective.
Okay.
Now, it is not just the lady who has a problem. The husband also has a problem. And I believe they have to deal with the problems they have. Having trust issues is actually not healthy for any relationship, even as friends. If you have trust issues, it is not healthy to be friends, not to talk about marriage.
Okay.
So probably there were certain things that the man did for the lady to feel that she had to now tell the truth. She was at a corner, and there was no way she could now relieve herself apart from revealing the truth. So she had to tell the truth. So the man also has serious issues, and he has to deal with it. And this is nowhere grounds for divorce as Christians. So I believe the two of them both have to accept that they have problems. And the lady, in the first place, has to accept that she was wrong from the beginning.
Okay.
So she needs to apologize to the man thoroughly, probably speak to a specialist, meet a pastor. The two of them should speak to a pastor about this matter, and they need to be counseled again for the marriage to be on course. And you have to accept that it has already happened. There is no way the lady can go back to the beginning and speak the truth before they get married again. They are already married and she lied. And that is a fact. So it is in the past. They have to accept that a lie is in the past. So when they accept that situation, they can quickly move on in this marriage, and I think it can work. So there's no way this can be a grounds for a divorce. And as I say, both of them need to be silent. Both of them need to be counseled. They need to meet a pastor. A pastor has to advise them on such issues so that it will not repeat in future.
Interesting. I'd like to read some comments on Facebook. So George is saying, the man is right. Lots of male spouses are in dilemma as to whether kids in their marriages are theirs. DNA always against the males. Interesting. BMC is also saying, this is actually the confirmation of what we learned in the Sabbath school lesson months back, that our experiences affect our future decisions. Wow. Odro Weiss is also saying that now there is also the trending mantra of don't ask a woman her age. But what is it about the age that people use it to define their identity? I think it is high time we tell our ladies to start understanding that character is a key determining factor, true self-identity and self-worth, not age. Let's know that the cornerstone of a healthy relationship is honesty or truth. God is truth, and so when we build our relationship upon honesty or truth, we can build trust for each other and save ourselves from the so many avoidable mistakes that are plaguing marriages in our societies today. The experience of this lady speaks more volume to us than to the lady. Thank you. Oh, I really love this. Odro Wise, God bless you. Josie, what should be the way forward? Divorce or forgiveness?
Obviously is forgiveness. Okay. Yes, because as Christians we know that divorce is nothing good. Yes, it has a lot of bad implications on the kids, especially. So when there is a breakup or there's a divorce, kids really suffer. Okay. So divorce is out
of the situation.
Yes. Yeah, they are supposed to sit down, see a counselor or a pastor, counsel them, and they will move on from there. Okay. The lady is supposed to apologize for whatever she did. Probably she was young and she took a wrong decision by telling lies. Now she's older and she knows what is right from wrong. She's matured enough. So she's supposed to apologize to the husband. And the husband is supposed to also forgive, find in her heart. Because in relationship and marriage, forgiveness is also part of it. Forgiveness, it plays a major role. So if you can't forgive, then you can't be there, because Christ forgave us. Okay, so we are supposed to also forgive others whenever they also go wrong. If we can't forgive them, how would we be able to pray that God should also forgive us? So he's supposed to forgive the wife, and then they'll move on. They shouldn't create a divorce, because they already have 2 kids. Yes. And the kids will suffer.
Great. Rahel, divorce or forgiveness?
Forgiveness.
Why?
So before I talk about forgiveness, I want to say something.
Okay.
I said it earlier on that about trust issues. So right now, tonight, I don't want to accept that the guy have a problem. The lady brought her issue, something that she has done against her husband. So that's why right now you invite me to your show and I don't show up for once. You invite me again and I don't show up the second time.
I'll block
the next
you.
time you hear my name, you're going to be like, are you guys sure she's going to come? If I don't do that, you're not going to have any issues with me.
Sure.
So I'm going to repeat this again, that trust issues comes up when somebody does something wrong to you.
Okay.
And it can only be fixed if the person proves to you that they are really sorry. So talking about forgiveness, I want to quote something from our previous Sabbath school. I don't know if everybody watching is an Adventist, but I'm still going to read. One thing we should know about forgiveness is that if you forgive people, you give peace to yourself.
Okay.
So the thing I'm quoting is, I think, the lesson number 7, previous Sabbath school lesson number 7, the Tuesday lesson. It says forgive and forget. I'm reading from the second paragraph. It says that one of the keys in learning to forgive is to understand what we have been forgiven in Christ. We have all sinned, not just against other people, but against God as well.
Okay.
Every sin is indeed a sin against our Lord and our Maker. And yet in Jesus, we can claim total forgiveness for all those sins, not because we deserve it. We don't. But only because God's grace towards us. Once we can grasp that sacred truth, once we can make this forgiveness our own, once we can experience for ourselves the realities of God's forgiveness, we can begin to let go and forgive others. We forgive not because others deserve it, but it's because what we have received from God and what we need for ourselves.
Amen.
So, being able to forgive others is something we need ourselves. If you forgive people, I mean, you give yourself the freedom. So I think this is something that her husband needs to think about and be able to forgive the lady. He should know that at some point in life, in one way or the other, he has offended God. I mean, we do it every time as humans. And I mean, he has offended somebody elsewhere. So if he really needs forgiveness from God and other people, he needs to forgive his wife.
Great. Forgiveness is actually an attribute of the brave and strong. Only the strong can forgive. Pastor, your final words and any shout out to your loved ones.
Yes, thank you very much. And I would also like to look at the issue of forgiveness.
Okay.
In Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, Paul admonishes us that we should bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive, as the Lord forgave you. That statement, that last statement is very serious. As the Lord forgave you. You see, we sin against God so much that he has every right to say, no, I will never forgive you. But he does forgive us. But we as humans, anytime we sin against one another, it becomes very difficult to forgive. This shouldn't be the case. I agree very much with Rahel that when you forgive, it lifts a certain burden from you. It is not just the one you are forgiving, but you yourself. That the moment you forgive, you are free. The thought of those pains going through your heart gradually goes away. So it is very, very important that the man forgives. But let's look at this. Why did the lady lie? What did the man do for the lady to think that if she has to lie, if she doesn't lie, the man might run away? What did the man do? I don't think the lady just got up and said, I have to lie because if I don't lie, this man will leave. Something might have happened. The man might have shown the lady something. He might have done something that prompted the lady that if she tells her real age, this man will leave.
Okay.
So I still believe that the man has a part to play in all this. So they have to forgive each other whatever means the man did to create the impression that the lady should lie, the man has to forgive himself, the lady has to forgive herself. And he should accept that this thing has already happened and they cannot change the past. And whilst they are trying to forgive one another, they shouldn't rush into saying, well, I'm forgiving you, so let's put everything aside. They both need a lot of patience, especially the lady. She needs to have patience with the man. If the man is saying that he needs time, this lady has to understand. Because as Rahel said, she's supposed to do something to prove to the man that truly she has repented or she has changed from what she did in the past. So he's not supposed to rush the man to accept her and live with her as if nothing happened. Something has already happened and he's hurt. So he has to have a lot of patience for the man. And they should stay in touch, even if they both need time to forgive one another. They shouldn't say we are not going to talk to one another or we are not going to call or be seeing each other. They need to stay in touch. And in doing all this, they have to seek help from a specialist. They should seek help from a counselor. They should seek help from a pastor. It is very, very important. So this is to all the young ones. Lying at the beginning makes you feel you are very mature, makes you feel you are smart, makes you feel you are so genuine and all that. But it is deception. Eventually, when you are caught, it changes the whole perception people have about you. So it is very, very dangerous. So we shouldn't go into that.
Pastor, any greetings to your loved ones?
Yes, let me thank Hope TV for this invitation. I'm very happy that I was invited to this show. And I also want to greet my senior pastor, Pastor Adusi Poku, is the district pastor for Sunyani East. And also the church pastor, the one I'm actually understudying. So I've not been posted yet. I'm working with him right now, and I'm learning a lot from him. And he actually gave me the permission to be on this show. So I want to greet him. And also to my elders, my church members at Victory in Christ SDA Church, the whole of the Midwest Ghana Conference, pastors, the president, executive secretary, the treasurer, and all the pastors and the church members around. I send my greetings to my family. My wife is here. My children are watching this show, and we are really enjoying it. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much for joining the pastor. Rahel, any shout out?
I want to say that to pastor that if I get a chance anytime I come to Ghana, I want to continue this. I don't know if it's a discussion or whatever about the fact that the guy is not wrong. So yeah, I just want to say that before my final words and shout outs, that anytime I come to Ghana, I'll come see pastor, then we talk about it more. The guy is never wrong at any point. So my final words is that my taxon said something in an interview that says that if someone controls your emotions, if someone makes you so angry, if someone makes you, if someone is able to take the good part of you, they become your masters, they control your life. So one thing you have to do is to be able to let go of things. If you're able to let go of things, you don't let the devil win. So the moment the man decides to get a divorce, he's making the devil win. And then even after the divorce, he's not going to be the same person again. So right now, the whole thing is that the devil won. So he shouldn't allow that. He shouldn't allow the devil to take the good part of him. And then one thing that anytime I get a chance to speak to people, I would say is that as Christians, we can't do anything without prayers. We should pray more. This is kind of an obstacle in their marriage. So if they can't even pray together at this point, I want to advise the lady to pray more until it gets to the part that her husband would love to pray with her. So she should keep praying and submit all the problems to God. And I believe that they can make it through that. And I want to say a very big good evening to my family watching me from Tema and my friends. I have friends watching me and all the people who allowed me to be on your show for the second time. I'm really grateful, and thank you for having me tonight.
Thanks for joining, Rahel. Josie, any shout-outs?
Okay. Forgiveness, my last words and my shout-out. Sure. I'll be very brief because I know it's time. Yes, forgiveness is something that we are supposed to adapt, not as Christians per se, but it helps us to be healthy. When you forgive people, it's not that they will be fine, you will also be fine, okay? Because it helps you emotionally and psychologically. You are free and you don't think about anybody, and you are free to go and you grow. So it is healthy. Aside being going to forgive people because God said we should forgive, it is also healthy for our lives. So it's best he forgives the wife. And my shout out goes to my family and friends in Kumasi, in BA, in Accra, my friends who are watching me. Yes, the Legon SDA Church, and then the crew of Real Talk, the crew of Hope TV Ghana. Yes, they've been always inviting me to their program, and I'm thankful to them.
I'm glad to have you tonight.
I'm also glad.
Okay, so I would want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to my panelists for joining, and to you, my lovely viewers, for taking time off your busy duties to actually watch me. Let me use this opportunity to say hi to Alba and Sandra Michaels, Mr. Marfo, Ewenam, my mother, Alexander, my oxygen. You guys are amazing. You guys are super, super. Thanks for watching. See you same time this week. Au revoir.